Hey everybody, and welcome to the launch day of My Husband Wants to Keep Me Dominant, which is this novella right here, which is the second book to that one back here, right here. See it? My Husband Wants to Keep Me Pristine. So this is the My Husband Wants series. It is the second book, and it is following one of my favorite characters in the series, Harry, and Adeline Palm. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And sorry, I didn't mean to hit that, but I thought it might be awesome to show y'all this in case you missed it. But there's Kona. If it'll upload, there you go. Hopefully y'all can see that. But there's Kona looking at the book. This is the unedited version. Y'all got the edited version on Instagram and all that good stuff. So yeah, I thought that was just cute. Anyway, we'll get rid of that. Maybe. There we go. All right. So, My Husband Wants to Keep Me Dominant was a whirlwind. And I wrote it in 5 days, just like I did My Husband Wants to Keep Me Pristine. Now, Dominant, I wrote in June. And it was the first of the 3 back to back. So I wrote book 2, 3, and 4 back to back, all within 5 days of each. So, yeah, this was the one that drove all 3 of the later books to get done. And yeah. Hey, Rach. Rach is also streaming right now. She is doing a productivity writing sprint. I will link it here in just a sec. So if you want to head over there after or even during this, feel free to. And yes, it was a Kona. She is hanging out on the couch right now. So unfortunately, she's not going to join us for the release day because she is wore out. We took her to the dog park earlier. So yeah. She's a little tuckered. Hey Andy, and welcome. Hi Sam, hi peeps, thank you. Hey CB, how are you? Thank you very much. And here's that link to Rachel's stream. There we go. I usually do these on Friday, but since tomorrow is Halloween, I really didn't want to fight with like the Halloween crowd, so I'm just doing it today. But thank you so much. It's really appreciated. Thank you for being here on the launch day. Now, I am going to pop this up here. This is going to be some of the same stuff that I covered with Pristine. So bear with me, but at the end there is going to be a Q&A and where you can pick your read. You can pick a page or you can pick a chapter, either one. And I will do my best to make it safe for work. There are a lot of scenes and chapters in here that are not safe for work just because there are some dark themes in here and there's some BDSM in here, but there is a lot of clean scenes in between. So hopefully y'all will choose the clean scenes in between. CB says, I'm good. It's official. I'm going to Houston December 11th. Nice. Congrats. That is awesome. All right. So My Husband Wants to Keep Me Dominant. I've got my little bows and everything. Are we done at last? No. We've only got 2 down. We've got 2 more to go in this part of the series. There will be a second part of the series coming out soon-ish. I am in the process of writing the first book on that, and it's going to follow the palms. So it will definitely be well into 2026, if not being published in 2027. It's not going to be done way too soon, but soon. But she has the best censorship rating. Yeah, I'll try. Sometimes I give up and I'm like, y'all know. Yes, yay, CV. I am so glad. All right, so the full blurb that you will find on the back of the book or on the pages that you pull the book up on is this. Herrick Tierney cannot get enough of Mistress Garnet's dominance, and he swears to buy out her debt or make her his. Only the Madame and Mistress Garnet herself seem to not want to let him free her. What is going on, and how can he convince his green-eyed beauty that he's the only whipping boy for her? Harry's dark past must be beaten into submission, and only his Mistress Garnet soothes the rage and pain of his draconic, tyrannical bloodline. Despite the teasing of his comrades, the legendary Seven, Harry will not give up on her. Will she accept his dark past and his secrets once he gains her? Hey, Martha, thank you. Adeline Palm has a secret nightlife and hereditary disease. As the daughter of a viscount, she should be extra careful with her dominant trysts and keep her damaged skin covered at all times. But when the gentleman her fellow doms and workers call Sir Red only sees her, wants to keep her for himself, she must face new desires he sparks within her. Who is this red-headed sex god? Would he still want her if he saw the disease marring her flesh? Luckily for her, Adeline gets to spend time with the Duchess Victory at a tea party. There, she gets to meet the beaux the Duchess introduces her to, despite her brother Doxy's protests. Will one of the seven catch her fancy? Will the one her parents choose allow her to continue her nightly fun? A dark romantic comedy of manners, much like Jane Austen or Bridgerton, with a dash of dragons and modern references. So yeah, that is the small blurb. And the books to read link should be down in the description. But here is the Amazon link that finally went live. So yeah, it was weird this morning. But there's the Amazon link. And here is the Barnes & Noble link if y'all prefer Barnes & Noble. There we go. And so the paperback is going to be $10.99 and the ebook is $2.99. So I was able to keep the ebook the same as Pristine, but the paperback, in order to make any profit whatsoever, I had to up it a little bit because it is a bit thicker than My Husband Wants to Keep Me Pristine. So yeah. All right. There we go. Again, first book is My Husband Wants to Keep Me Pristine, available at your favorite retailers, as always. Online retailers. I don't have it in very many physical bookstores just yet. And the second book is available today. Check the box for the links, please. And again, this is a dark romantic comedy fantasy. I know it's a lot of genres like smushed into one, but it literally is like Bridgerton, Jane Austen, Robin Hood Men in Tights kind of thing, all smashed in together. And this one is a touch darker than My Husband Wants to Keep Me Pristine because of Harry's traumatic background, which you will learn when you read. And there are trigger warnings in this book for death, gore, incest, stuff like that. And there is a impromptu C-section scene in the book too that can be very traumatic. So y'all are warned. Hopefully it won't turn y'all off, but yeah. Jordan says it sounds engaging and something that they'd like to read. Awesome. Rachel's got it in the shopping cart. Cool. I like it. All right, so these images are AI generated, so just keep that in mind. That's the only way that I can do it right now because I don't have an artistic bone in my body anywhere. And I couldn't quite find models that I could use really that kind of matched them. There was always something a little bit off. But Adeline has like a dark blonde hair look, and she always has really red lips. She likes to wear the lipstick a lot. It's even during the day when she's supposed to be her lady self and not Mistress Garnet, she will still wear the deep red lipstick. She has green eyes. She's fairly slender. She is not like overly fit, but she can keep up with the boys. She was raised with 4 brothers, so yeah, she had to chase them around a lot. And she learned a little bit from them too, like some sword play, a little bit of boxing and fighting and everything, because they wanted her to be able to take care of herself if they weren't around. But the thing is that they are always around, especially Percy and Doxy. They are always around. And then there is Herrick Tierney, aka Sir Red. He is a dragonkin in this world, and his father was the tyrant who was trying to take over the world 20 years ago. So he aided Regis, his captain, Lord Commander, Duke Vicious, aka Duke Victory, bestie of sorts. He helped Regis overthrow his own father by let's just say he was the one that ended the life. Harry was the one that ended the life because yeah, his dad was a bad dude. So Harry kind of healed his own trauma a little bit, but then created more for himself by doing that. But Harry is a very rambunctious kind of character. Hey, Eva. Thank you. He is funny. He's witty. He is dramatic. Just a little bit. And he's supposed to be in charge. He's Regis's second, but he really does not like being the second. But, you know, according to the other boys, he's the only one that's able to do it. So that is Harry. And you may remember these guys from My Husband Wants to Keep Me Pristine. So Regis, again, some of these are AI generated because I couldn't find models that I really liked. But I will eventually get character art. So yeah, there's Regis. Again, Duke Victory, their commander. And then there's Fedric. Fedric is the passion god. We'll put it that way. Fedric taught Harry a lot of things. Fedric teaches a lot of things to a lot of people. That's his side gig thing. So yeah, Fedric and Harry are like this. They almost look like brothers. So they act like brothers. They actually act as close as twins sometimes because they can finish each other's thoughts. They know what each other are thinking all the time. And most of that comes from being in battle with one another. Like all these guys minus Doxy, kind of can read each other's minds and movements and stuff. Just because they've been together for so long and been in battle for so long. And that's, yeah. Just a little bit. Just a little bit dramatic. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Slaith is the elfkin of the, well, okay. Regis, his race is not revealed yet. Fedvik is a witchkin. They have certain powers. So Fedvik has powers relating to speed for the most part. And Slaith is elfkin, which means that he's pretty much immortal. And he has powers relating to blood. He is a scary person to run into. Yeah, just a little bit. Especially if you're an enemy. You don't want to be Slaith's enemy at all. But if you're a part of the Seven, and if you are of marrying age, he is going to try to marry you off, or at least get you to give him babies that he can squeeze the cheeks of, because he loves babies. And then Bertrand down here, the other white-haired gentleman, is the... Oh, he loves training these guys to the brink of death and back. Literally. And then he will make them do it all over again. And again. And again. So he gets his joys of life from hearing other people whine. And seeing death hover over them. So yeah, that's Bertrand. And Charn is one of the later in the battle scenes additions to the Seven. Charn is kind of a bigger guy. So Fedvik and Harry and Slaith are kind of about the same size. Charn is about the same size as Regis, which means that they're kind of bulky. They would probably be like Zangief from Street Fighter. If you don't know, let's see who would be another one. Bison too, because you know the broadness. Street Fighter 2, Bison. Trying to think of who they would be like in like Mortal Kombat. But take Vin Diesel size and kind of bulk it up just a little bit more. Bertrand is very, very sadistic. He just, yeah. But Charn is the only reason why the Seven have somewhat survived in these later years, because he's actually a good cook. Whereas before they were living off of charcoal and whatever didn't manage to burn at the campfire. So Charn saved them a lot. I haven't played Street Fighter 2 in over 30 years. Yeah, I know. It's sad. The only reason why I bring up Street Fighter 2 is because I actually got to... We've watched a lot of videos on Street Fighter 2 here lately. And we have our Super Nintendo up. And I'm kind of wanting to play Street Fighter 2. So maybe. I don't know. That's what brings it to mind. And then Doxy is the latest addition. He's the one that makes the Seven instead of the 6. And he has joined up in the past 2 years. So he's a young one. Very young compared to some of them. Slaith. And he's kind of like a golden retriever kind of guy. And he is also Adeline's older brother. He's one of the middle brothers. So yeah, that's who those guys are. Such a good game though, as was Mortal Kombat. Yes, very much so. And Tekken. I love playing Tekken too. Jen from Tekken build is like kind of Regis-ish. Oh gosh, the thing did weird stuff on here. It didn't look that way whenever I pulled the file up. So let me see if I can change this out real quick. Hold on. So for some odd reason, whenever you do the PowerPoint presentation, it goes all weird like that. Maybe I can get it to do. I doubt it. Let's try it this way. Sorry, y'all. Technical issues. That's better. Okay. There we go. Okay. Have to use the PDF version, I think. Yeah. So on Restream, whenever I uploaded the PDF version, it just took forever. So I just, yeah. But I will remember to do the extracted files next time. Had the same issue, or I shared my screen. Yeah, this is a screen share. The same thing happened when I downloaded a government form recently. Yeah, computers are weird. They're supposed to make our lives easier, but they don't. It's okay though. It's fine. We're fine. It's all good. So some of the other characters that you will see and meet in My Husband Wants to Keep Me Dominant, this is just a few of them, are Percival, which is the eldest Palm brother, the knower of things Palm related, except for navigation. Percy gets lost easily, a lot. And he's going to get his own book. He is the one that's going to have book 1 in the second set. So season 2, I guess. Silac is the middle Palm brother, one of them. He's actually friends with navigation. He does not get lost. And he is a sailor explorer type. He is hardly ever home, but you do meet him because he comes home to meet Harry and to see if he can torture Harry, because yeah, he needs to make sure that his sister has a good guy, right? And then the last but not least brother, Palm brother, is Matthias. He is the knower of all things except for societal norms and anything about his family. He's people lost. He is very much an academic. He is a professor at the Capital Academy, and he is a professor of history and literature of that world. And he too, along with Selick and Percy, are going to have their own books in the second season. I think it's because I use Apple and the government don't. I don't know. There's a lot of government. Like whenever I was doing the Census Bureau, they used Apple products. So I don't know. Computers are just weird. Yeah. And then you will meet the Viscount's Palm, of course, the mom and dad to all the Palms. They know they've raised their children to be far too willful, and it's okay because it's no longer their problem because their children are grown now. They don't, it's fine. When they were not marrying age, then yeah, it was their problem. But now that they're all grown, who cares? Let them do what they're going to do as long as it doesn't bring dishonor to the family. And you will also meet the Madame. She is the owner of the brothel that Mistress Garnet works at, and Sir Red frequents. She is a older lady. I kind of made her after the brothel owner in Apothecary Diaries, the anime manga too. So whenever you read the Madam, you can kind of picture that lady if you want to, if you've seen Apothecary Diaries. If you haven't, I highly recommend it because I love that anime. And then Clover is another character that you'll see, especially at the beginning of the book. She only has like 1 or 2 scenes actually. And she is Mistress Garnet's right hand, the one that actually has the physical relations with the clients instead of Mistress Garnet, so that Adeline can, keep her purity. All right. So here is the poor map that I have butchered as I made it. You can see to the circle, the red circle in the upper left is Surland. That is Harry's homeland. The castle there is kind of like in a bowl of mountains, like a half bowl, where the hot springs and volcanic activity is really close to the surface at the bottom of that bowl. So the castle itself is pretty much sitting on hot springs, but everything around there is snow covered. So, and it's very treacherous to try to get to. So that town was pretty much cut off from the rest of the world. That family was pretty much cut off from the rest of the world. And some say that's the reason why the Tyrant King went mad and started to take over the world. Others say that it was just the way he was in this world. Zensus, which is the next door over, is also kind of sort of part of Surland, but it is even more impenetrable than Surland was. And Zensus, you will hear mention of in Dominant once or twice, but you will see it more in book 4, or hear of it, read it more in book 4, because there's some little things coming up in book 4 that, yeah, look forward to that too. And then over to the right, the red circle in the right is the capital and the Norvasos Duchy. That is where most of the story takes place. Mostly around the duchy, but a lot of it is in the capital. And the way the capital is set up is it does still have its class case systems breakdown. So you have your lower class, which is usually around the outskirts. But the lower class is towards the south, towards the forest of Telkinian. And then middle class is kind of in the middle. And then the upper class with the castle, with the king and queen and everything, is kind of towards the north, towards Norvasos land. So that's kind of how they are broken up. But there are some lands and properties along the outskirts that lords and ladies have bought up to have larger estates instead of having townhomes and everything in the middle of the city. The Palms are one of those. The Palms are kind of one of the older families for the region. So as the tyrant was taking over the world, Kings Island was safe, and so was the blue circle down in the bottom left corner, which is Slace homeland. It's the Elfkin homeland. Those two places, Kings Island, the Immortal Lands, Queen's Rest, sort of, was not touched by Serland, was not taken over by the tyrant or fought with the tyrant. So the Palms kind of retreated to Kings Island and was trying to fight the tyrant from there during the war 20 years ago. And then when the king and Regis banded together, became the Brothers Grimm, I guess. No. Became the heroes of the stories that they are, then that's when they made their headquarters in the capital so that they could attack Serland easier and get to the king from a base that's a little bit closer. So that's the reason why the map's kind of set up like that. Deadlands is mentioned a little bit, but you will see Gachant and Gavanch in there because, yeah, Gachant makes more of a appearance in book 3 because that's Fedvik's homeland. All right, and I kept this slide in here too because I thought it was funny. So what else can you expect in this book? Battles and training. Definitely a lot of training. All the training. Definitely a lot of magic, some teasing and banter, a lot of that. Laughter, humans, godlike people, elves, witchkin, Fedvik and drag a lot. No, not really. And dragonkin. That's the other things that you can expect in here. So another thing that is kind of revealed more in here is a little bit more about dragonkin because Harry and Adeline both are dragonkin. So Harry is a red dragonkin. He turns into a red dragon whenever he shifts. His scales are kind of ruby-esque. I really like the color of ruby and the deep ruby, not the, you know how some rubies are like more pink. But Harry is more of a deep ruby, and his scales are that shiny and that glossy, and that's the reason why he has such an ego. Part of the reason why he has such an ego. Because he's pretty in both forms. And then, let me switch this back up here. The green dragonkin are the Palm family. Now, there are a couple other families that are green and a couple other families that are red. But for the most part, greens are mostly palms and reds are mostly tyrannies. Tyrannies have somewhat been wiped out, but before they were wiped out, they pretty much wiped out all the rest of the reds too, and some of the other dragon species as well. So I'm going to take a sip, but which do you think is the larger species, the green or the red? Is Harry bigger than Addie, or is Addie bigger than Harry whenever they shift? I'll give you a couple of minutes. Give me a couple of minutes to get some sips here. And if you're watching on the replay, I really do appreciate it. If you are joining in and you haven't been here before, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I am really close to 500 subscribers, and I am going to be doing a giveaway whenever the 500 mark is hit. And some of my books, aka My Husband Wants to Keep Me Pristine and My Husband Wants to Keep Me Dominant. And depending on when I hit 500 is if My Husband Wants to Keep Me Gay will be in that giveaway as well. Physical copies signed too, along with a bunch of swag. Sorry. Whenever I do a lot of talking, you would think red. Yeah. A lot of people think red. I was going to make the red the bigger one. It's actually green. And this is about the size difference. So Harry could literally ride on Addie's back if he wanted to and sleep. So green dragonkin are fairly large. The only reason why the Tyrannies didn't really wipe out the green dragons is because the green dragons are not fire breathers. Most of the rest of the other dragonkin are fire breathers, but green is not. Green is very, very peaceful. They are more molders of elements around them. So a little bit of earth, but it's mostly wind. So they can do like a sonic blast and stuff like that. And there's going to be a little bit more on this as the books carry on. I don't want to like info dump in one book because these books are so small, and info dumping in one of these is like, would be terrible. He can't be her pet dragon. She can squeeze him and call him Fluffy. His ego got a little bit of a blow. A little bit of a blow whenever they shifted. Because he didn't realize that she was going to be green. Because Palm's dragon can keep to themselves. So they don't let other dragonkins know their secrets. And whenever they shift, it's usually on familial land so that nobody else really sees them. So that's the reason why Harry did not know the size difference that he would be faced with. All right, so here is the best part. You can choose pages between pages 1 to 168 or chapters 1 to 31 for me to read. And I will also let you choose between pages 1 and 102 for My Husband Wants to Keep Me Gay as well. And if there are any questions, let me know. And I'm going to drink this down before it gets too much colder. But yeah. You want to choose a page to read?
Actually,
what?
We interrupt this program with the following message. This is the honest truth. My husband wants to keep me dominant. Is husband approved? It is an absolute worthy read. And it does the dominant correct. So, now, as far as picking a page, I would say chapter 1.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You want chapter 1?
Yeah.
You want me to read chapter 1?
Yes.
You know what chapter 1 is?
Yes, I do. Chapter 1 is the introduction to this fine piece of literature.
Yeah.
Yes. Fine.
No, you
we'll do chapter 2.
No, you already said
we'll do
chapter 1.
2.
You already
if
said
you
chapter
would
1.
like, I will read chapter 1.
Oh, really?
That is totally up to you. Chapter 1. Whips and cups. Harder. The slap of the leather upon flesh broke the rhythm of grunts, pants, and soft feminine cries. The thongs slid over the sweaty, tanned back with pink whelps as the muscles gathered and released to pick up the order with gusto. Yes, mistress. The redhead turned his head. His heated gaze pierced through the low candlelight room, resting on her as his body undulated fully to make his hips thrust his cock harder and deeper into the woman under him.
It's not safe for work. I apologize. If you are at work, I'm sorry.
This is by far the introduction to the book. His audacity made her want him, but she must keep to her role and her chastity. Striding forward, the heels of her riding boots clacking against the cracked wooden floorboards, she put the butt of the whip under his chin, turning his head up so he met her gaze. She placed a boot on his ass while hiking her white skirts up to the knees to reveal the thick, tooled leather and a slash of pale thigh. His thrust stilled, pressed fully into the woman beneath him, who whimpered and meowed.
Mule.
The mule? Yeah, that is mule. As she rocked her hips to keep her pleasure alive. She leaned down, putting her face in his, the nose of the mask poking his right cheek. I told you to focus on your whore, sir. She's had an orgasm. Don't you want one, Mistress Garnet? He asked, a glint in his dark eye. Her thoughts drifted to how his hand warmed the small of her back earlier when he'd ushered her into the room. The length of his cock before he had sheathed it in clover. How did it feel? You haven't the money to take my first, sir, nor do I think you're worthy since you cannot manage the simplest of orders. Tell me, is he good enough for you? Yes, Clover said with a moan, still undulating under the Lord. The sling's movements slid him in and out of her. That's page 1. She watched the muscles in his arms move with each swing and knew he was helping Clover remain fucked despite his mistress halting them. Insubordinate. She gripped his long tresses and hauled back while keeping her foot on the left globe of his taut ass. His hands flew to his hair as his back arched. The Lord's hiss of pain made her lick her lips. He had the best sounds of all her clients, the best body too. Mistress, I should warn you, there are tips. A few bit into her palm, but she didn't mind. The mistress jerked him further back, bending him over the length of her leg so the back of his head rested on the top of her high-knee boot. I didn't permit you to speak so freely. Clover took full advantage, gripping those narrow hips between her legs and riding her way to climax. No, mistress, you did not, the redhead sated between pants. His partner cried out her release and lay in the swing with a smile as she reveled in orgasm. Finish yourself, she said, hovering over him before her balance tilted from the odd position. Her boot heel clacked back on the floor, and she grew steadier on both feet. He hadn't moved to obey. Instead, his eyes were up, watching her, hands still in his hair, fingers touching hers. With a flick of her wrist, the leather thong smacked his flat stomach, taut with the strain of bending backwards. His body jerked, but he didn't make another move to comply. His tongue trailed over his lips, gaze still on her. May I speak, mistress? She raised a brow, the sweat damp mask pulling tight. Shall I allow him, Clover? He might have a good idea, Clover's twang snaked out as she watched the spot on the ceiling, swinging gently in the straps of cloth hung from the rafters. Speak, she demanded, returned to stare into his dark eyes. A glimmer appeared there, as if they held their own internal flame within depths. Let my mouth give you an orgasm. It'd be better than your fingers after I leave. Another smirk twisted his lips. Trust me. Since he's worthy of you, Clover, do you think I should sate his thirst? She had to play the part, keep to her act. No matter how the redhead looked and what he did to her nethers, she was his dom. The bastard knew she was wet. Who wouldn't be? All the whores fought for him. The rare redhead, the rare long tresses, and a body that promised all sorts of power. She was one of 3 mistresses he hadn't broken. Oh, aye, Clover was of no aid. She felt her eyes narrow as he grinned, already thinking he'd won. She smiled and loosened her hold on his hair. Using the whip's handle, she beckoned him as she stepped away. He shifted, every muscle in his body taut, as he turned from bending over backwards to walking on his hands and knees before her. The tiny space continued the swing. The tiny space contained the swing. Tiny desk, a wobbly chair, plus a narrow couch lacking a back. In 2 steps, she bumped into the softest piece of furniture. Stay. She waited until he stilled, sitting back on his heels before disengaging her hands from his tresses. Slowly, she gathered her dress, all lace and cotton, and pulled them up to free her legs up to her knees. She threw her legs over the couch, straddling it, before sitting and leaning back against the threadbare arm. Her skirts were dangerously high, sending a thrill through her while embarrassment threatened to ruin the moment. That's half of chapter 1. I think that would be a good stopping point.
That is.
Welcome to the Not Safe for Work book.
Rach says hi.
Hi, Rach.
Eva does too. I'm back for a Gonzo reading.
Hi, Eva. But yes, my husband wants to keep me dominant. As I said, this is good BDSM writing. Oh, Rachel has me on the big screen now. This is absolutely husband approved.
I love you.
I love you too, and every word I've just said is 100% true.
Yes, dear.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I've embarrassed you enough, I shall take my leave.
I'm not embarrassed. I was a little concerned that you were going to keep reading, though.
No. It's honestly a really good stopping point for that chapter, considering that is halfway through chapter 1.
Yep.
And we have heard how that runs.
Hello. How's it going? Yep. Okay.
Now, I shall take my leave of you fine folks. Enjoy the rest of the chapters and pages that Sam might read, or even check out a preview of My Husband Wants to Keep Me Gay.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. Enjoy the show, folks.
Uh-huh. So that is the showman part of the stream. You would like something fun from the next book, since I've read most of this one. All right, so something fun. I will give you chapter 1. So, chapter 1 of My Husband Wants to Keep Me Gay. Now, granted, this is not fully edited yet. I have just done a developmental sweep on it. Chapter 1. Oh, brother, brother, where art thou? Oh, brother. Put that thing away. Put it away. Damn it. You are no brother of mine. Now, Doxy, Percy crooned, is that any way to treat me? Your most beloved eldest brother. He ran a hand along the length of the cage he coddled. His steps were steady towards his screaming sibling. Doxy's heart rabbited, and he thought he would burst from the inside out. His entire body shook, and cold sweat erupted on his face. No matter how fast he moved around the drawing room, Percy always seemed to be one step closer than the last time he looked. Was that thing in the cage getting bigger too? The gods of fear needed to leave him alone. He climbed on the back of a plush chair, reaching for the thick drapes that hung from the large picture window. He clung to them, wrapping all his limbs around them except for the one holding his weight on the back of the chair. Stay back. Oh, come now. It's just a little bitty squirrel. It's even in a cage. The way his brother talked to him made him feel like a toddler fighting his nap time. He narrowed his eyes, swallowing down the rabbit that tried to crawl up from his chest and into his throat. That thing is enormous. Doxy gritted his teeth as Percy lifted the cage and peered into it as if the whole thing wasn't made of tiny, crisscrossed wires, easily seen through. He waited for the beast inside to unleash its fury. It was nice knowing his eldest brother while it lasted. Percy clicked his tongue, even tapping the door of the cage. His body lurched as if the cage had opened when the thing inside chittered and the fluffy tail twitched. He wanted to be out of this room. He glanced behind his brother. The only door and the beast lay between him and it. I'll come home more often. I'll polish your boots. I'll take care of your horse. What do you want? Had Fedvik come here? Doxy blinked and stared at his brother. Those bright green eyes didn't shift, but they held steady. What do you want with Fedvik? Percy set the cage on the small table in front of the chair Doxy was precariously perched upon. I need his expertise, but I don't want to send a messenger and have word get out that I've hired him. He swallowed hard. The fear still gripped him, but another emotion reared and nearly overrode it. Expertise in what exactly? Wielding dual swords? Archery? I need him as a son of Gachant, Dox. His brother's cheeks were flushed, and the eyes finally strayed, looking at the floor. Put it away. Doxy heard his own voice come out like a frog's croak. Not until you promise. I fucking promise to get Fedvik to teach you how to fuck. Doxy bellowed. Percy chuckled with a shake of his head. I'm glad we're the only ones home and our servants don't gossip. He picked up the cage and left the room. Doxy breathed finally. He eased himself back down into the chair properly, noting the wrinkles in the drapes. His mother would probably smack him for that later. He ran his hands through his hair. It had gotten longer, and the stuff was usually everywhere but where he wanted it. Today, it was tickling his ears and falling right between his eyes to attack his nose. Why couldn't Percival ask him like a normal person? Doxy covered his face, rubbing his brows and eyes and then cheeks to try to calm himself down. He was fine. Everything was well. He didn't get eaten. What was Percy going to do with Fedvik? Everyone knew that sons of Gachant were teachers of pleasures. Did Percy have a lady he was interested in and needed to make that much of an impression? Surely his brother wasn't the type to deflower a lady without wedding her. Was he? Selek was, somewhat. Matthias knew the composition of piss and cum, and only one was done as needed while the other was mysterious to the academic. Doxy shuddered, trying not to picture his brothers with partners. Fedvik kissing Percy entered his mind. Doxy stood and paced the room. How many times did he have to tell himself there wasn't a chance of Fedvik paying him any mind? How many times did he have to tame his heart when Fedvik teased him? Maybe he should hire Fedvik. That would be the only way to get the redhead's mouth on him. Dox, you cannot have him. Doxy stared at Percy as Percy stared at him. What had come out of his mouth? I cannot have who? Exactly. There was something in Percival's tone, the way his eyes gleamed, and the way his body was too relaxed. The eldest was up to something. Doxy was in that something, and he did not like it. Percy's plans were never to his benefit, and always to his downfall. Fedvic. He's for he's for hire, isn't he? Again, Percy's usual absent-minded scratching at the patch on his thigh was too ordinary. He was trying far too hard. Yes, he is, I think. He might not be. No, he isn't. Doxy's words were thrown out of his mouth as his brain came up with them. He's busy. Busy with what? Too busy to get paid well? He's busy training me. Percy tilted his head back. Training you to what? Archery? Double swords? Or is it one fleshy sword? There it was. Doxy walked right into whatever Percy wanted. That triumphant glow to his pale face set Doxy further on edge. If he wasn't careful, his heart still might burst or break. Archery. Why was it so hot in the room? It's about time you spent some time with him, although I had hoped for other training for you. Doxy watched Percival's smile hit from his eyes to his lips. How was it that he could watch over every single one of his siblings and know their every need? Doxy didn't even know his own needs or wants. You did all of this just to get me to admit to having Fedvic train me? No. I did all of this to make you think about getting Fedvic to train you. Percy lifted a shoulder and sat down. He readjusted his pants leg with a groan, tugging the fabric so it settled better on his thigh. Doxy pulled a small tin out of his pocket. Harry said for you to try this. He tossed it to his brother and sat across from him. How is he treating our dear sister? Percy asked, unscrewing the tin and sniffing the balm inside. He made a face while muttering, why do all these things have to smell so terrible? They don't leave the room except to forage for food. Percival laughed. Well, he did warn us that would happen. He frowned, putting the top back onto the tin. I am glad that she found someone worthy, but to have the youngest married off first was not my plan. Doxy rolled his eyes as he asked, and what is your grand plan for all of us siblings? For you to be happy, of course. I need one of you to give me an heir, for I doubt any woman would want to feel my disease. You don't know that, Doxy readily replied. He hated seeing Percy sell himself short. There was a woman out there. They just had to find her. If he had any chance with Fedvic, it might ruin him for anyone else. He couldn't see himself with anyone other than Fedvic, but his brother needed an heir too. He glanced up, watching Percy watch him. What? I do not mean for you to give me an heir, Dox. What? Do you read minds now? No, you're pouting and you have a one-track mind. Well, forgive me for not being the grand strategist Percival Palm. You are the one that must have your own heir. The rest of us are too lowly in the mind to have offspring to meet your standards. I'll take Adeline's firstborn. Half a brain from Harry will do just fine. Doxy rolled his eyes and murmured, yet again, I'm never going to be as good as the 7. Of course you will. One day. Just not today. That is the end of chapter 1. My favorite real creature. And Doxy's nemesis. So, let's see. If I can find the scene. Okay, so this is of chapter 7 of My Husband Wants to Keep Me Dominant. And this is another Doxy having issues with little furry things. Harry paused, something happening deeper in the trees to his right. He wasn't sure what drew his attention, but soon he made out a long, drawn-out scream. The sound of a large beast or person accompanied it, crashing through the underbrush and running over leaf litter. He held out a hand, stealing the horse and pushing them back to the edge of the tiny clearing. Stepping up to the edge of the shadows created by the trees above them, Harry made sure he would be between whatever was coming and Percy. Why didn't he have his sword? Oh, he was in his dress uniform, the only one without blood on it. Besides, there was nothing dangerous in these woods. Abundant growth created habitats for tiny birds plus beasts, with no sizable predators present, thus forming a paradise suitable for dainty lords. Right. It sounds, Percival began. The bush to the left and in front of Harry burst open, letting a blur of limbs in tan pants and a blue jacket that matched Harry's out into the oval clearing. A constant scream poured from the red-faced soldier. He didn't even notice Harry, the horse, or its rider along the edge. The shrub hugging trees across the way quickly took the man back into the depths of the woods. Shrieks continued after him, fading with distance. Harry cursed, turning to look back toward where his comrade had come from. That was Doxy, right? Percy asked, a higher pitch to his voice. It was. Right. Percival's swallow was audible over the fading scream of his brother. Whatever Doxy was running from had to be ferocious. The boy could face down Duke Regis Nervosos, a.k.a. Duke Vicious, and not bat an eye. Much. Why wasn't there a sound of this beast chasing Doxy reaching them yet? A furball flew from the bush, took 2 leaps across the leaf litter in front of them, then followed Doxy into the far greenery. Harry blinked. Sure he'd missed something. He glanced back toward the right, where Doxy had first appeared. Nothing else was coming that he could tell. He looked back at Percival, staring as the man was folded in half on top of his horse, shaking erratically. You all right? It's a squirrel, Percy forced through bouts of silent laughter. A squirrel, Harry repeated, trying to make sense of what he'd witnessed. Mm-hmm, Percy guffawed, nearly falling off of his steed. Harry put a hand on the man's waistband, holding him steady as the laughs kept flowing. Was it rabid? No, Percy cried, giving up and laying on his horse's neck, holding his sides with both hands. He's so scared of them. He joined Percy, tears flowing from his eyes as he sat down to keep from falling down. You have to be joking. No, I'm not. Percy sniffled, then laughed so hard he hiccuped. Harry joined until he hurt, then slowly got himself up and dusted off. He chuckled as he claimed, I'm bound to catch every squirrel in this kingdom. Percival's eyes glinted, his lips turning up in a grin of wickedness. We have 103 already. Another bout of laughter broke him. The Duke's household shall meet your challenge and raise you another 100 for the torture of dear Doxy. Had Doxy's misfortune won Percival over for him? Indeed, Harry thought it did. 2 down, and 5 more palms to go. Should we rescue him? Leave him. He needs to build his character. Harry grinned up at Percy, knowing right then he'd welcome Percy at his table of shenanigans any day. And his stamina, too. Yes, definitely siblings. Yeah, definitely brothers. Let's see. So anything else that y'all want me to read? You can choose either from dominant or from gay. I don't know if I should call it gay, but I mean, it is what it is. Yes, definitely siblings. So if y'all are just joining us, I was reading from My Husband Wants to Keep Me Dominant, which is available today as it is its launch day. There is a link to the books to read um, link down below. Yeah. Words. I write them a lot. Can't you tell? Um, so make sure to check them out. There's also a link to the Amazon and Barnes and Noble there too. If you haven't gotten the first book, My Husband Wants to Keep Me Pristine, there is a link to the books to read for it as well as the Amazon and Barnes and Noble too. So make sure to check those out in the box. And if there isn't anything else, I will let y'all go. I'll give you just a second to reply. Because I know there's some streams going on. Do, 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 do. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, if there are any pages or any questions for the My Husband Wants series, feel free to leave them down in the comments below, especially if you're watching the replay. I will get back to you with their answers or even do another video as well if you want me to. My Husband Wants to Keep Me Gay is currently being edited, and that is book 3. It should come out in 2026-ish. At the earliest, it'll be at the end of this year, but I doubt it's going to be coming out in December because, yeah, holidays. But thank you for joining me. I will catch y'all tomorrow at 3 p.m. for my usual sprints. Happy Halloween and Samhain, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.